We are now joined by Rick West on today's edition of the Splash Live. Superintendent West, thank you very much for joining us and welcome to Bloomfield Hills Schools.
Good morning, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on. And we know it's Bloomfield Hills and we're in Greater West Bloomfield, but it's one of the many districts, the several districts that serve the West Bloomfield area. I should know, I'm an alum of the Bloomfield Hills School District, having grown up in this community. So I want to welcome you as an alum, but also as someone in this community that interacts with Bloomfield Hills schools on a regular basis. And start off by having you explain to us, what first attracted you to apply for and to pursue this position in Bloomfield Hills schools?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying. First, again, thanks for having me on. I think it goes without saying, Bloomfield Hills is recognized as one of the best public education institutions in the state of Michigan. So sitting in my seat as a deputy superintendent in another local district, it was pretty easy to make that connection that this was the premier job, as I mentioned to the board through the interview process, the premier job in the state. And, being in proximity and having the experiences I had, it was a pretty easy connection to say, this is the time and it's here and now that I seek to be the leader of what I believe is one of the best school districts in the state. So that's really where it came from. The search firm certainly reached out and through conversations with my family and my mentor and my wife, it was a very easy connection to pursue the opportunity.
And you mentioned that your experience immediately before taking this job was as a deputy superintendent in another school district right here in Oakland County. So how did that experience as someone in the high administration of a large school district in one of our neighboring communities help to prepare you to take over this particular school district?
Yeah, I think, being in the Troy School District is where I was for the last 10 years. And over the course of my career, my direct responsibilities have been assisting superintendents in the day-to-day operations of school districts. So I think throughout my career, I've been prepared for this opportunity. And certainly the opportunities that were afforded to me in Troy have prepared me well through the community engagement pieces, through being in the last year or so responsible for the day-to-day operations of the school district, through being on two strategic planning teams, and through leading the bond work that was passed over there, which was the second largest bond in the state. So I think looking at the myriad of responsibilities I had and the opportunities that's been afforded to me throughout my career, it was a logical next step to come over here.
And you mentioned working on some of the bond issues in the Troy School District over that portion of your career. Now you're in the Bloomfield Hills School District as their superintendent, and they've undergone a lot of changes in recent years too, particularly because of the 2020 bond passure, which helped them convert back to a K through 5, 6 through 8, and then 9 through 12 format across all these schools. And so coming in at this time with that experience, how does that help you to then help the teachers, the administrators, and especially the students and families continue to smooth that transition into this new era in Bloomfield Hills schools?
Well, one of the things that I've learned through the transition process is what they're seeking, and what the Board of Education, and as I've had an opportunity to meet with many people, they're looking for stability. And I think I can provide that as a leader. The other one is a strategic plan. How do we take what we've done or what we have, what's been given to us through the 2020 bond and the resources that we have available to us, and how do we leverage that and make things even better? So I think through my leadership, what people can expect is to bring people together, to collaborate, to listen intently, to seek to understand, and then to develop plans and strategic initiatives around what we've learned and what we've collaborated around together. And I think, education institutions are very robust. There's great variability in our day-to-day work. And so I think what we need to focus on is how do we come together in authentic ways, understanding divergent thought is needed and required, and we develop a strategic plan moving forward. And that's one thing that I was very focused on throughout the interview process. And what I picked up on is that we have great things going on. How do we pick that up from there and develop a strategic plan moving forward? And I think that's the exciting work that awaits us. And bringing people together to do that work is going to be my primary focus over the next 12 months.
And that, a lot of that goes back to policy changes, and that all often comes along with an administrative change, especially at a higher level, and that ultimately trickles down to affect every area of education in the school district. So what are some of those policy changes that maybe you would be considering pursuing to continue to further increase the educational balance across the community and improve outcomes for students and for everyone involved along the line?
Yeah, well, I'll stop short of giving any robust policy changes or changes I want to make. I'm still in, I'm on day 4, so I want to make sure that I understand what's going on a little bit better. But I can tell you, the primary focus is going to be how our kids and how are our students connecting throughout their experience, and how is every student feeling a sense of belonging. And what does that mean? How do we define that? How do we define connections? How do we afford those opportunities for all to connect in a meaningful way? So, from a governance level, our Board of Education and myself and our administrative team will be focused on what policies may need to change, what things might need to be viewed and looked at a little bit deeper. But that will all come through relationship building. I in my 90-day plan, I laid out my focus areas will be on students, relationships, outcomes, and leadership. And those all need to be flushed out and defined a little bit more. But we remain focused through these 90 days and beyond to establish a collaboration, authentic collaboration through all stakeholders, as many stakeholders as want to be involved, and making sure that we have those focuses and those lenses in which we do our work.
And as you mentioned, you're very early on in your tenure, you're just getting started, and that interaction with the students and that interaction with the educators, getting to know the school district that you're now leading is really important. So in these opening days and in these opening weeks, how are you pursuing building those relationships?
So I've had a number of meetings. I got started right after the appointment in May. I met with all of our board members individually. I've met with our entire cabinet team. I have meetings with district administration. I have a couple community events that are scheduled in August, and I recommend viewers look for those opportunities on our website. And then when school gets started, I'm going to be visible. I'm going to be accessible. I'm going to be responsive to the community. I want to meet people. I want to understand their perspectives. I want to understand their views as we continue to work toward a vision for our future. And so I will be out there. I'll be accessible, and you'll be able to talk to me. I'll be at events. My team is working on my calendar and making sure that I seize the opportunities to be in places where the Bloomfield Hills community are. So I look forward to that. That's part of the exciting work, is getting to meet the people, getting to understand their perspectives, and where we are as a district, and through their lens, and how that's going to inform the vision.
Superintendent Rick West is with us, the newly entered superintendent of the Bloomfield Hills School District. Rick, before we let you go, let's take a journey forward, a year or two or several down the line. And ultimately, when you get to that point and you've had some years under your belt, you've been able to implement some of these plans, what do you hope is the outcome, or is the impact, better yet, of your leadership in this district?
I mentioned in the interview process, I'm looking to make generational impact. So one, I want to be here for a while. If I look back a year from now or 2 years from now and define success, it will be our kids have meaningful experiences where they're connected and they feel belonging, and that we're able to get that data through a myriad of ways, through one, observations, two, survey results, things like that. So it's going to be a student-centered focus where we're really evaluating how our kids are feeling, how they're creating a sense of belonging, and the opportunities that we're providing them. So I think that's what will define success. If our students and our staff and all stakeholders feel a sense of belonging, and where Bloomfield Hills Schools is hopefully growing in enrollment, where it's a destination district, which it already is, where people are seeking to move here for the experience of their public education, and that we're providing that experience, and that we're really focused on student experience.
Well, Rick, as you make your opening interactions and you're taking your tours of the school district, one of the first places I suggest you head over to, the Pete Bowers Studio over at Bloomfield Hills High School, and visit Ron Whittables and the team over at the BIF. A great program they have over there. Thank you so much for your time.
Great, I appreciate it. Tyler, if I could, real quick,
Sure.
I'd be remiss. We have an operating millage on the ballot for August 6th. I encourage the community and the viewers to check out our website for the factual information, and consider voting on August 6th.
All that information and more that you need to know about the Bloomfield Hills School District on bloomfield.org. Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyler.